Good morning. The world continues to change around us. Challenges within the geopolitical landscape, global health, and sustainability remain top of mind. In industry, trends such as AI, data, and security continue to dominate. And when we all evolve from one disruption, another one comes and slaps us back in the face. So I'm Rohit Auluck. I'm the industry manager for mobility and transportation here at Autodesk, and I'm going to be giving you a brief overview on enabling digital transformation for the micro-mobility industry. What I'll be covering is a broad overview of what we're hearing from our customers in the industry, how we can help, and also some proof points from our customers. So, in the rise of a new sector, we hear three main things around consumers, regulations, and technology, and much of this won't be strange to a lot of you sat here today. But for consumers, we know that 30% plan to leverage micromobility this decade, with 46% of them open to replacing, their private cars or vehicles for other modes of transport, and 70% of these are open to sharing that transport with other people. Regulations across the globe are shaping the requirements that you guys need to work with, or the vehicle manufacturers need to work within, making it quite tricky and difficult. Things such as the Paris Agreement, the UN Sustainability Development Goals, etc. And as mentioned, technology plays a huge part. So whether it's in alternative powertrains, moving from internal combustion engines to EVs for traditional vehicles, or if it's going beyond current EV tech and making that better, or into new technology such as hydrogen and fuel cell. So at Autodesk, we support the broad mobility sector, everything from mini and micro mobility, all the way through to passenger cars, commercials, even air mobility. And we support organizations that are small, medium, and large enterprises. From a supply chain perspective, we're able to support battery manufacturers, suppliers within tiered supply chains, and also most recently within the charging infrastructure. So as the video showed at the beginning, we do have quite a broad portfolio, and because of that, we're able to converge industries from our architecture, engineering, and construction space, along with our design and manufacturing portfolio. So I was just previously having a conversation before I came on stage with someone who's working on wireless charging points and looking at how does infrastructure impact that. And we know that the world's taking sustainability seriously because we continue to invest over $3.4 trillion a year in both vehicles and infrastructure. And within the industry, we've got new entrants, so be it startups, small organizations who are trying to become larger. We've got diverse companies who are diversifying, so whether they are traditional organizations today, maybe moving from internal combustion engine to electric vehicles. And then we actually hear a lot from a number of our supply chain customers who are completely pivoting. So an example would be an organization who today might be making engine components, says tomorrow we're going to completely stop doing that and we're going to move to electrical vehicle systems. So I just want to take a couple of minutes to look at the overall product development lifecycle that we're able to hear and support our customers with. So some of the things that we've put on here are what we are hearing. So within the develop and design phase that we're able to help our customers with, they're really looking for smarter, more multidisciplinary systems because we are converging the systems maybe from mechanical, electrical, or leveraging more of one than the other. Collaboration across industries is more key than ever, as I mentioned, especially as we're starting to sort of look at how can we impact infrastructure. So for those markets that are putting in new infrastructure, such as some of the markets in Asia, this might not be such an issue. But for some of the European countries where we're having to sort of rip up what's already there, assess it and see how that's changing, That's a big issue that we're trying to solve for our customers. Once we've designed and developed the product, obviously it needs to be engineered and it needs to be feasible. So balancing those different vehicle attributes, be it cost, weight, performance, safety, reliability, is something that our customers are always struggling with, and we're always trying to support them with solving that. Once the product's designed and engineered, obviously, we need to make it. So we're able to support with, how do facilities and infrastructure come together? What does it look like for the broader supply chain? And how can we actually make it? A lot of our customers tell us that the issue comes, especially some of the smaller enterprises, when they're looking to scale. So scaling new facilities, new infrastructure, how do they become resilient to the entire supply chain? And how do they bring people and skills along with them and develop them? And finally, we always hear that they want to be able to manage the data across the whole life cycle, so they can continuously innovate and manage risk along the process. So I'm not going to go into any specific products or workflows or technical details here today. As I said, this is just an overview. But what I would welcome you to do is to visit our booth at the beginning of the exhibition at Booth 101. So often when we speak to customers as well, they sort of talk in a picture, and the picture often looks like this: that their business is stretched to breaking point. They've got broken processes, multiple data formats, manual systems with a mix of digital and analog information. So we call this the chaos slide, effectively, of an enterprise. And what we're really trying to do is bring some control to the chaos within the organization. More recently, and for years, we've seen, the chaos doesn't just stop with the organization that you're working with. There's chaos in the supplier, their supplier, and it just sort of continues. So what we're trying to do as an organization is provide the industry with solutions to reduce chaos and serve the industry around design and manufacturing. So we'll just go through some examples across the different life cycle stages. So from a development perspective, we worked with Simple Energy. So they were able to leverage our design tools to bring all their stakeholders into a single place to do all their design and development on a single model. What this meant is that they could bring their product to market on time and to cost, and it meant that they could reduce their product development life cycle from 18 months down to 7. For engineer, we heard from Minder, and they said that actually, because of the changing legislation that's often taking place, they need to be able to model quickly and understand how can they meet those requirements fast and effectively. So our Fusion platform enables them to do that from an electrical perspective. For manufacture, it was really key for our customer Pix Moving to reduce the number of overall components that they had for their vehicle. So they were able to leverage new novel methods of manufacturing in order to be able to have 90% fewer parts and leverage a number of different technology for their robobus. For scale in factory, we worked with Porsche. So Porsche used a number of our tools from the architecture, engineering, construction space and the design and manufacturing space to bring together all their data for their new Taycan factory, which enabled both Porsche themselves and their broader supply chain to bring all their data together into a single integrated factory model. From an infrastructure perspective, we worked with Wallbox. So Wallbox were really happy that they were able to use our PDM and PLM tools in order to be able to reduce human error, improve quality, and decrease the launch time like we've seen in many other cases. And just looking at a different type of example for infrastructure, I just wanted to include this one in here because we have spoke about the impact to just more than the vehicle. But Audi were able to use a set of our portfolio to be able to have prefabrication of their charging hubs. And they told us that, they were able to set these up in a few weeks as opposed to 4, 5, or 6 months that it would typically take. And finally, for Manage, we worked with Gendermark in India. And again, they were able to reduce costs by up to 15% due to some of the collaboration capabilities that we worked with across their entire life cycle. So just to wrap up, digital transformation can help you simultaneously meet the challenges that you might have today or the opportunities that are arising in the future. We purposely didn't put any product logos or anything like that in the presentation because we truly believe that everyone's business is unique and it needs to be assessed in that way. But we truly believe in having these key capabilities around mass customization, digital collaboration, flexible manufacturing, customer experience, and smart services. And what we're also saying is that it doesn't need to be them all. It just depends on what challenges are your business facing today. And we can have a conversation from there, and we can start anywhere right now. Thank you very much.